Hi folks, I just wanted to update everyone on a now third important case in the state of New Jersey regarding the Second Amendment. I recently posted a couple of videos on two other important lawsuits in the state of New Jersey regarding a newly signed law by Governor Murphy back in December, which I like to call the anti-carry law, which basically bans carrying a firearm pretty much in the entire state. So there have been multiple lawsuits filed against this law for an injunction against this law. I posted those videos and I'll have links in the description if you want to see those, if you haven't seen those videos already. But very good news so far. Judge Renee Bumb, U.S. District Court for New Jersey, has issued TROs for both of those cases pending a preliminary injunction hearing, which is very good news for pro-Second Amendment citizens who want to exercise their Second Amendment right to keep and bear arms. Today, however, I want to talk about a new judge, a third judge with a third case in New Jersey that is very important, I think, for the Second Amendment in New Jersey. This is Judge Karashi. Now, he was appointed by President Biden. Now, that's important. I'll tell you why in a minute. Judge Renee Bumb was appointed by former President George W. Bush, and I talked about Judge Karen Williams in a previous video. She's the one who transferred the Siegel matter to Judge Bumb's court to consolidate with the Coons matter. So Judge Williams was also appointed by President Biden. So you have two judges, federal judges appointed by the Biden administration who are ruling or making decisions for the Second Amendment or pro-Second Amendment. To me, this is very good news. They are actually reading the court decisions like NYSRPA versus Bruen, and they're making decisions based off of historical precedents, recent U.S. Supreme Court decisions, and other cases as well. And as many gun owners and pro-Second Amendment citizens know, typically Democrats or left-leaning people push an agenda, an anti-gun, anti-Second Amendment agenda. So that's why I think it's important that we have now two federal judges appointed by the Biden administration who are ruling or making decisions that benefit or for the Second Amendment or the right to keep and bear arms. I think this is an important movement that's happening, especially in New Jersey. These are three cases that are affecting New Jersey. Now, this third case that I'm talking about today, the National Shooting Sports Foundation versus the Attorney General of New Jersey, Matthew Platkin. So this case involves the gun industry. This lawsuit has to do with a law A1765 that Governor Murphy signed back in June of 2022, allows for the gun industry or gun manufacturers to be sued, basically to be liable for a third-party action. So somebody buys a gun and it ends up in the wrong hands. A criminal gets the gun, shoots and kills somebody, robs somebody, shoots them, kills them, whatever. To me, that's the same as suing Chevy, Ford, Dodge for making the car that a drunk driver used to kill somebody. The judge also talks about the fact that the Attorney General has created a new office just to enforce this new law, this A1765 law. So the lawsuit basically seeks a preliminary injunction against this law that was signed back in June. So Judge Karashi, in his opinion, he states that all these factors have been met. And he goes through them one by one, and he talks about the law signed by Governor Murphy imposes liability on the entire gun industry. He talks about how it affects constitutional interest and how it threatens the basic constitutional right and liberty to keep and bear arms. National Shooting Sports Foundation, they argue that it threatens them in the future for prosecution, which Judge Karashi talks about and agrees with, and says that yes, that's one of the facts that have been met in this motion. And he also talks about the preemption, the fact that the Protection of Lawful Commerce in Arms Act, the PLCAA, which was passed by Congress in, I believe, 2005, which essentially prevents the gun industry from being liable for third parties. So if a gun that they make ends up in the wrong hands and someone shoots or kills either by an illegal act or whether it's improper or misuse of that weapon, they can't be held liable for that. Judge Karashi brings this up, mentions this, it's preempted by federal law that New Jersey can't do this. So another reason why he's granting the motion for a preliminary injunction. This is another win for pro-Second Amendment citizens in New Jersey who want to exercise their Second Amendment right to keep and bear arms, to carry a handgun, protect their families, their loved ones, and themselves. I think it's a good case. These are pro-Second Amendment, pro-lawful gun ownership cases. And we know that the mainstream media does not report on these pro-Second Amendment gun cases. You won't see it in the mainstream news. You won't see it. That's why I'm trying to stay up to date with these cases that especially pertain to New Jersey. I think this has been coming for a long time in New Jersey. And as a retired trooper, I was a trooper for 25 years. And in my last at least 3 years or so, I worked in the firearms investigation unit of the state police. So I'm well familiar with the restrictions and the laws in New Jersey on firearms. And so many of them are an overreach. There are so many regulations and laws regarding firearms in New Jersey that don't have to be the way they are. And they're there just because it's one anti-gun politician after another enacting these feel-good, what I call feel-good laws. People that don't know any better say, oh, that's a good idea. That sounds like it'll keep us safe. When in fact, they don't. They don't mean anything. I think a lot of these laws will be challenged in the near future. Some of them are already being challenged due to NYSRPA versus Bruen. So I think we're going to see a lot more. But the fact that this is happening in New Jersey, one of the most strict states as far as gun regulation in the nation, this is good news to show that there is a movement happening here. These federal judges, and some of them are appointed by Democrats or appointed by the Biden administration, are ruling in favor of the Second Amendment, pro-Second Amendment, due to the U.S. Constitution and other decisions such as the Bruen decision. So they're actually doing their job, in my opinion. I think it's good news, folks. If you like this video, please hit the like button and share it. Also, subscribe if you haven't already to stay up to date on these Second Amendment or permit to carry issues in New Jersey. Thanks for watching. Take care and stay safe.